Grand Prix Part 2.
Take two.
Take 2. Welcome into the lovely Mrs. Meeps. Back again. Couldn't leave us. Apologies for the delays in getting going today, but we had some Elgato issues, which are, to say the least, very frustrating. Anyway, we are now on a lap with Mick, but he is going to go again probably. As we have it right now, we have Bunsey and Kaiser top 2 with Major Jam. What do you make of Kaiser setting one of those laps? Considering he doesn't really set a lap per se. What's going on with Kaiser in Britain?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember Kaiser.
But see, that's it. He's ultimately forgettable at the back of the pack in quali.
Okay, was he racing last week?
Yes. That's the problem. He has had good results from the back of the pack.
Okay.
But he's been at the back of the pack. Qualification doesn't figure much for him, but he's after setting a stonking lap there, albeit in the Red Bulls.
Okay. Good job, Kaiser.
Yeah. Now, something about this is, of course, Silverstone. This is going to favour the Ferrari, the Red Bull, and the Mercedes. And as you can see, we have a Red Bull there who isn't normally anywhere. We have the Mercedes of Chameleon, and we're just waiting on, I suppose, Mick now to set a more competitive lap than a 131. But we're going to start seeing those guys up near the top, I think. Vern as well tipped to put in a stonking lap here. Chameleon and Vern had last season. Chameleon and Vern had an incident here for which Chameleon was completely at fault.
Shocking.
Yeah.
And did he argue that?
Oh, he argued it. I think he argued about something to the fact that he didn't like the fact that Vern overtook him 2 corners earlier, and all of a sudden was Vern's fault. Vern was in front. I don't know.
That's kind of a familiar scenario.
There we go. Is a hero into the top 6 in the Mercedes as well. Vern actually not setting a lap because Vern is out for some reason. He must have had something go on there. Iron Man might actually put in a time as well. That is worthy of being in maybe top 5, but it's unlikely for him. Chameleon back into the pits. Major Jam going now on a fast lap, getting a bit of drag, and there is, it looks like the Alpine, or no, maybe it's one of the Astons there just getting out of the way.
Okay.
So,
anyone suspended this week?
Yes, while we're doing that, while we're going around, let's look at what it is that happened this week. We have to controversy. Are we on the right things here?
I don't know.
You don't know. It's okay. I got you. So just over here, because Mrs. Meep's still dealing with blindness this week.
Saw me Cyclops from now on.
That's it. Yeah. We will mute that. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Holy crap. Can anybody hear that?
Wow.
Holy shit, this whole room just shook.
Like this, did you see the screen?
The screen just nearly came off the wall.
So, we're having a massive thunderstorm, which we don't get a whole lot of in... Oh. You just ran in the back of him.
Oh, we just had an incident.
Yep.
5-place grid penalty for Major Jam. Ouch!
Shit.
Ouch. That is sore. Wow. Everything in this room just shook. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
I'm still feeling that.
Being
Holy
from
shit.
Wisconsin, I'm quite used to loud thunder, but that was
wow.
That was loud.
And that was hella loud.
Like, I'm going to take a minute and comfort some terrified dogs.
Dogs don't matter, do they?
You don't matter.
I don't matter.
I'm not comforting you.
Spider-Man says, wet race ahead. Love it. That means that these tyres don't matter anymore. Set the best lap you can, and that'll be it.
Speaking of wets,
Wets.
Where's
Wets
Wets McLaren?
Yeah, an absolute notable omission from this week's racing.
I mean, that's really the news of the day, isn't it?
Really is, absolutely is. But
why are we even going racing?
What is the point?
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
Wets McLaren.
We do have two guys in today with Elite Carbon's got the wets on already. Oh, and he's lost it. Why not see us lost it? Puts the wheel on the grass and spins as he watches the Ferrari of Mormick go round again on his outlap. We'll say this. We do have two guys in the lobby, Elite Carbon and Welsh Wizard. The reason they're on the inters and the wets already, they both have quali bans. We will get into that once quali is done. But some dirty news to go up there. Why not see going back in after failing to set that lap there, spinning on the grass? Can't cut the grass. Chameleon is still in 4th position. Is he going to improve this time round? He's through sector 1 and he's 2/10 down. Through sector, that will put him second behind Bunsey, it looks like. So an interesting lap here. Only asking if it was a wet race. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, look, we don't know what it is that sets her off, but clearly she's a bit upset that Wets McLaren is not here today.
What are you talking about?
What? That's.
Oh yeah,
that's,
no, it was
that's
just.
Spider-Man.
I get it. It was just a nice segue for me to bring up Wets McLaren.
Yeah, without actually mentioning the wet race at all. Went straight past the wet race, straight into the Wets
But where
McLaren.
did you say we're on wets already?
Yeah, Elite Carbon and
we are
Welsh
having
Wizard.
a wet.
It is going to be a wet race, and Chameleon's backed out of that lap for whatever reason.
Okay.
Major Jam, running into the back of somebody, is now going to go on another lap. He's going to have a 5-place grid penalty. Well, Elite Carbon and Welsh Wizard are already on those tyres because it looks like they're not going. Well, they have a quali ban, so they're not going to be taking part.
And are we going
in
to talk about
qualification.
why there was a quali ban?
We will. We're going to pull up all that information, which is on the other formats on our stream here. We will get to that just afterwards. But because we were a little late getting started, we're just kind of, as I say, we get back to the details between the transition from quali to race.
Aye.
And there is the Haas. It looks like a Budge, just staying out of the way there. Budge quiet in this one. He's only in 12th position with a 130. Oh, Rhonosaurus is after going top. Rhonosaurus setting fastest lap with 2 minutes to go. Bunsey, he's on his out lap, so has to respond in kind to that. But Rhonosaurus first into the 128s. Oh, I'm kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of nervous about that. I don't want to. That was incredible.
I know, like, a part of me wants to just go and make sure like nothing got hit by lightning, because that was close.
That was close.
But
that
luckily,
was very close.
I'm fairly certain nothing's on fire because it's Ireland and
Yeah, it's too wet.
damn fuck,
It's very
like,
way
it's a
too
fucking sponge.
I don't know if I'm not Marty. I don't know if it's a wet race. There are two people on wet type tires though. That, to be fair to them. Anyway, Chameleon all the way down to 6th after Blue Gunner knocks him down to there. Angry Chameleon is on an outlap, but let's see if we can find Budge. Let's see how he's going to set. He is 8/10 down in the first sector. That can't be right.
Do you think he's going to throw the race?
Oh, he's after invalidating. He's after invalidating, and he's not going to get around, I don't think, to get another lap. Oh, maybe he will. He'll be very close.
Do you think he's going to throw it to avoid getting a shitty card?
I think people were saying today at this stage it's probably a bit late for that.
A bit late?
Yeah.
Okay. So this has been...
Because it's big news as regards to all of that as well.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, we'll deal with that too. And remind me again.
I have no idea what's been going on before this. I just kind of sit in here. I don't know the background deets.
Yeah. You're not Marty McFly. Well, you should be, because you sometimes sound like him. Take from that what you will. Okay, so Budge trying to get around. Angry Chameleon is on a lap. He's going through sector 1 now as we speak. Let's see how he fares out. Oh, we have somebody around big time. Who's off track?
What do you figure Chameleon's going to complain about today?
Oh. What is Chameleon going to... Well, we could take bets on, and honestly, we could take bets on in the chat for that. Because honestly, he's already trying to dictate physics to me when he should be talking sound engineering rather than physics.
Okay.
It's not really that at all. But you know, we don't want to point that out. We don't want to point out where he's wrong, because that's something he will complain about, especially if he has a shitty race. So let's see. Budge did not get around. So he's going to start outside the top 10.
Does he know it's too late to throw the race?
Does Chameleon know? I think Chameleon might be
Budge.
thinking about it. Oh, Budge.
Yeah.
Oh, probably, yeah. Yeah, I think so, yeah. And Chameleon not a whole lot down on what he was on, and Bunsey is in the pits, so it looks like Rhinosaurus is going to be top.
Did we get clarification on that name? Ronan-asaurus.
It
that
is,
right?
but I'm going Rhinosaurus because he sounds like a dinosaur now.
Well, the whole saurus, regardless,
Yeah.
makes him sound like a dinosaur.
He could sound like an encyclopedia type book though as well.
We've had the discussion. And a theosaurus, as you call it.
Chameleon going around, and he's up to 4th. Theosaurus, legitimate. No. Oh, and Rory Drain having trouble in the pits as well. So that is the end of qualification. A very strange qualification for us because we kind of didn't get into it at all. But Rhinosaurus takes his first pole as far as I can see.
Ronanosaurus?
It's Rhinosaurus.
Well, you could even say Ronanosaurus.
Ronanosaurus. Let's go with that.
Yeah,
let's go with that. That's an acceptable.
We'll see how long it takes for you to revert back to
Ronanosaurus.
Ronanosaurus.
Ronanosaurus. Rawr. Ronanosaurus. Ronanosaurus takes the pole in Britain. With Bunsey in second, Kaiser going in third. A shock, to a degree, a shock. But we did say, of course, that the Red Bulls, the Ferraris, and the Mercedes are going to be fast around here. This is a very quick, long straighted track with a lot of fast overtaking. So as we see, we go down. Chameleon did improve enough in the final sector to jump up just 1,000th of a second behind Kaiser Gunner into 4th. Major Jam in 5th. He will drop 5 positions into 10th, bumping everybody from Buffalucas up.
Oh, Buffalucas is back.
Buffalucas is back. He is. Blue Gunner is in 6th. Why Not See in 7th. Rory Drain in 8th. Is a Hero in 9th. Is a Hero vastly improving. And then we have Buffalucas and rounding out the top 10. Okay. Let's go through it. Let's get to it. We will go back and we will go to the official stuff here that we discussed earlier on. So Welsh Wizard received a reprimand for lap 1 incident with Blue Gunner. We don't know. That was just a lap 1 incident. Welsh Wizard then receives 10-second penalty and 4 penalty points for an incident with Vernie Vern on lap 20. This doesn't affect the standings because Welsh Wizard DNF'd, as it turns out. But what it does do is it gives Welsh Wizard 12 penalty points on the season so far, and that's his qualification ban explained. Okay, here's the big one. After what seemed like, and it is a wet race. It is a wet race.
Good job, Marty.
Oh my, Marty McFly is in the house. Anyway, here we go. We have Elite Carbon with what seemed like a flawless drive last week, overtaken on the final lap to separate himself, using the DRS all the way around, then just overtaken like it was nothing, separating himself, had an incident with Mailman.
Yeah, we were all lauding him as like, look at this brilliant
driver,
look at this
strategy.
than all this. And then he knocked some poor fucker out of the way.
Well, yeah, that was one of the main parts of the battle all the way around, was
Yeah.
with Mailman, who
Yeah.
was up there, who isn't in here tonight, as a matter of fact.
No.
Mailman is not with us tonight. He finds himself in the UK on
I'm
signing
sorry.
deals. Yeah.
My apologies.
But what happened was, as a result of that incident, Elite Carbon got a 10-second penalty, 4 penalty points. That moved him down in the standings to 7th. What a tough penalty! Because apart from that incident, quite frankly, it was an incredible drive.
Yeah.
So it shows you how much penalties affect you in this race
Except
or
for
in
that
this league.
bashy bit.
The bashy bit. It was a bit, but to be fair, it was. I think it was like him. Yeah, he must have felt, I'm on for the win here for the first time in wheel to wheel history. I'm not giving this up easy. And honestly, he did turn into Mailman. It was a deserved penalty, but I wouldn't have said he done it intentionally or anything like that. So, this is not a Chameleon and Monza type incident where you go through all the corners and get by somebody and not give the position back, that kind of thing. This was probably a bit more genuine.
Does that also have to do with not knowing what an apex is?
I think he knows what an apex is, but I think ultimately, it might have some. Anyway, as a result of that, he then received his 4 penalty points, which brought him to 12, getting him a race ban too. Starts from the back of the grid, but he is lightning quick in that car.
A race ban or a quali ban?
Quali ban.
I said race ban.
Appreciate that.
I'm always here to point out when you're wrong. Don't worry.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyway, there's the standings really quick. Bunsey now takes the lead as a result of that over Mailman, because he got promoted up to first position. Much bigger lead than he would have otherwise had, I beg your pardon. But we're going to get back to it because we're on the formation lap. Oh, and it is wet as hell. Let's go. It is wets to wets in this race. There's no medium, hard, soft, medium, hard, medium, soft, medium.
What the hell are you doing here?
I am going to put on all of the information. We will leave position change on as usual. Although we will just have a quick look at who has what tires. It is wet down the board. Nobody going for the inters. And that's saying something, because the wets are terrible. But we have Mormick and Elite Carbon have been disqualified. The Elite Carbon hit into the back of Mormick. That might mean a race ban next week for Elite Carbon, because he's the man from behind. Oh, Mother Divine. When it goes wrong, it goes wrong.
Very wrong, yeah.
So, Ronanosaurus taking us around. Jesus Christ. Rar.
You're a bit giddy.
Yeah. Is taking us around. Bunsey in second. He is going to look to extend his lead, and he's in a good place to do it because, as you say, Mailman not with us. So, Mailman in second position. He is clear of Budge in third, I believe. Let's have a quick look. Budge in third, but a long way back. He's 46 points behind. Only 12 or 13 points between himself and Bunsey. So Elite Carbon all the way back to 8th as a result of that 10-second penalty. Savage stuff.
So, this is a wet track. They might as well be swimming these laps.
Yeah.
Are there any drivers that stand out as being particularly good or particularly bad on a wet track?
Unfortunately, one of the disqualified ones, Mick, is normally good in but he finds himself in 14th position, and with cold tyres. Not that it matters, but there's a lot of people being disqualified because they can't line the car up correctly on the grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people disqualified in the top 11. There's 2 more just for the hell of it. So nearly the entire place. Buffalucas, new ban, only on the grid a couple of weeks, and he is the one that is setting the standards with regard to putting his car on the grid. Trying to get it.
Oh, you missed the hole.
There we go. And we are away for this race in Silverstone. First corner. And is there any incidents? We're looking back across there. Is there any incidents? Looks like we got through fairly clean. Only Elite Carbon with a bit of a spin, but he's only lost a couple of positions as a result. Angry Chameleon is down one position. We put the position changes on. So the biggest loser so far is Big Knockos, who joined us pre-race. Here we go. But Ronanosaurus is Ronanosaurus is taking us away. He is 1 second clear of Bunsey already. So have we underestimated how good the leader is? And look at that, Buffalucas is already challenging Chameleon
up 3 spots
for 5th position.
Oh my god, please.
Buffalucas, the new man in the grid, he is going to be good in the. Oh, look how careful Chameleon is there, as that faster Mercedes losing all of the advantage. Budge still in 12th position, net the same for the first lap so far. Oi, 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 oi. We have Buffalucas, who is the best, apart from Iron Man, who's up 4 positions in that Ferrari, and he is, as well as Mormick. Oh, and what happened? Iron Man, he went wide and lost that position. So Iron Man is still up 2 though, because he started at the back almost. But he is looking squirrely in this final sector. Oh, and there is Elite Carbon overtaking him on the inside as they go around. There's something wrong with Iron Man. Let's see, Buffalucas all over the back of Chameleon. This is going to be an interesting one.
Ronanosaurus setting fastest lap.
Yeah, well, he started the lap and he finished the lap first, so yeah, that's going to be the case. On the first lap, it's the first person to cross the line. Yeah, I like it. But you know what? He did set the fastest lap.
I was just trying to give him some.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Yeah, give him a rar there for me too. You know. Anyway.
That's your weirdo thing.
That's my weirdo thing, isn't it? Right. Okay. So Buffalucas all over the back of Chameleon. He has gotten a great start in this race so far. Major Jam also up 2 positions. He is going to look to make some inroads into this after being away for a week or 2 as well.
Who?
Major Jam.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
So the top 3, as you were, but Bunsey is falling a little bit back from Ronanosaurus. I got it. Anyway, okay. Kaiser Gunner representing at the front. He's all over the back of Bunsey. He may make his day very difficult because traditionally Supreme Bio with a 3-second penalty on lap 2. Ouch. But that Red Bull could make it very interesting for Bunsey.
Yep.
You know, considering the fact that it should be theoretically a lot faster on the straights. And there will be no DRS, of course. But Bunsey already losing a ton of time. 1.6 seconds at one stage there. Oh, and bit squirrely coming around. And Ronanosaurus, all the fast there. Oh, Jesus, we've had multiple fast laps. But as it turns out, on lap 2, Supreme Bio sets the fastest time. He made up the most time in that lap.
Okay, so I'm really anxious now to see Buffalucas.
So let's get back to the tyre. The tyres aren't really relevant because everybody's on the same one. But let's see. Penalties just 3 seconds, as we said. You're interested to see if Buffalucas.
Yeah, I just need him to overtake Chameleon.
Oh, yeah, it is difficult to overtake her.
Oh, bastard.
What if Buffalucas were to take out Chameleon in this race? Would it be his fault or would it be Chameleon's, considering that would be back-to-back races for Chameleon?
I would like to see Buffalucas put enough pressure on Chameleon that he takes himself out. Like, in an ideal world.
In an ideal world, is it?
Yeah.
26 laps to get to the end of this race.
What kind of strategies are we talking here?
Wet to wet. Realistically. Unless we have a drier spell later on in the race, it may dry out and we may see probably a set of mediums on or a set of softs, depending on how late it clears up.
What does Marty have to say about that? If we're going to see a drier track.
Let's go. Let's go. That was a bit weird. Oh, we do have somebody around though, and it is Blue Gunner and Chameleon. Oh, they're having the glitch. They're having the glitch. Somebody is around. What's going on? Blue Gunner's back up.
What's happening?
Kaiser's got to get ahead of Blue Gunner. Oh, we're having the glitch with regard. We have a
What's the
safety
glitch?
car. We have a safety car,
What's
but it looks. The glitch is that when the safety car comes up.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. Basically, Blue Gunner needed to get back in position because there was it would have been an overtake under safety car,
Okay.
but they didn't overtake. But now he's back, as it turns out, behind Chameleon, and Buffaluca's up to 5th in this race. But it looks like we are good to go racing again. What that was that was a VSC because we're.
I don't know what the hell just happened.
Yeah, that was-
I still don't know what
that
the
was a bit
glitch
of a
is.
glitch.
I don't know what.
Well, we do also have other glitches as regards to the
Everything.
well, everything first and foremost, but we do have other glitches as it relates to and Kaiser Gunner 5.6 seconds behind Bunsey, whatever happened there. So,
Is he the one where they like come to a standstill?
well, there was a bit
What's that?
of issues. If they were under VSC and they were overtaken, somebody might have been around. Who's back? Let's see who's lost
Like-
positions.
Iron Man's struggling here at the back a bit.
Nobody back any real positions. Oh. But this is an interesting battle from the new guy all the way up in 5th in this race as it happens. Now he did last week put on a great performance but got a lot of penalties laid on which dropped him back down the grid.
Yeah, that's true.
So just he has to remain clean in this race and just and Chameleon will make a mistake. He is prone to mistakes.
Oh yeah.
But on lap 4 still a bit clean as it happens.
The day is young.
The day is young. You are not wrong. But anyway, massive gap all the way up to Bunsey, and is a hero setting fast lap on that time round. But we did have a VSC, it looks like, and on the restart it looks like we had a bit of like people stopping, trying to get. There's this glitch with the deltas. That means you're 5 seconds over, but if you're 5 seconds over,
What's the delta?
your delta is the distance between you and the car in front. So under VSC, that should stay constant.
Yeah.
So nobody gets any advantage.
Yes.
Basically, Ocean Chef or Chief, welcome in.
Chef.
Honest to God, every fucking time,
Every week.
every freaking time. Swedish Chef, more like. Anyway, yeah. So under VSC. Under VSC, what would happen is you would have to maintain your delta, but the deltas kind of stop and you end up being +6 or something like that, and you have to come to a complete stop on track. And if that happened to Blue Gunner and everybody overtook him, you then had a situation where you have to get back within your delta before it's go time again.
Yeah.
And if there was a bit of confusion, it looks like all the way from Kaiser Gunner back down the thing, but didn't happen to Ronanosaurus and Bunsey up front. Let's go! Okay.
You already read that.
Yeah, I know. But it still is. We're let's go again.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot, I feel.
There's not a lot going on. And to be honest, in wet races, the one thing about wet races is it tends to stay the way it is for long periods because
Everyone's taking it easy.
you don't. When you're going to be very careful about the overtake because making a mistake in the wet is absolutely terrible. Like, you know what I mean? It's generally race ending when it happens.
You hear that, Chameleon?
Okay, so where we go? Yeah, Elite Carbon, Welsh Wizard, Narrowman not making any headway at all as it happens. All still in the bottom 4, as well as Vernie Vern. Oh, and we have been kicked.
No.
We have been kicked. We know when that happens. What happens?
What?
When we have that happen, we have been kicked.
Okay.
So, it's like that again. After a clean one last week, we are having glitchy time again.
I mean, this whole This whole evening is kind of.
It's been a tough evening.
It has.
It has, and almost at the point where it was nearly time to.
Where we just throw in the towel and you go make me a cup of tea.
Nah. not that. Let's not get crazy here.
Crazy talk.
Let's not get crazy. Let's look at really quickly while we were waiting for that to rejoin. There is your standings after last week and all the stuff that goes on. Or went on, I should say. Elite Carbon dropping 6 places as a result of that 10-second penalty.
I can't see any of that.
It will appear up here in a minute.
Okay.
In just a second. We will go big screen for you, so you have it like that. Because
I'm disabled.
yeah, let's do that. There you go. Elite Carbon dropping all the way back down to 8th place. All the people behind him getting promoted one. Bunsey getting to extend his lead at the top. Yeah, it's an interesting way for it to all have unfolded in the end.
Yep.
We will be right back with you in just a second. Welcome in Ocean Chief, it's much appreciated joining us again. If you haven't done so already, everybody who is watching, please give us a like and a subscribe, we much appreciate it. The Meeps here, we are in, it's now, I have changed the title of this now, it's now esports with the Meeps, the Mr. and Mrs. Meeps.
Don't get used to this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like it runs past my bedtime.
It's okay, that's okay. It's only a small thing.
It's only a small thing.
You know. With that.
I mean, you're the one taking your life in your own hands, like, if I don't get my sleep. So. I know. It's a risk I'm willing to take. So let's get back to the racing now that we are there. It looks like nothing has changed. Bunsey making a bit of inroads and Kaiser making a massive inroad there. Look at that. Kaiser down to 2.6 seconds after being nearly 6 seconds adrift. So Kaiser pushing ahead in that Red Bull. The undercut here is pretty good. You could conceivably make up 1 or 2 seconds. He's back within that timeline. We do have Blue Gunner going into the pits. Does he need a wing? Is this a wing change? It isn't. The wing is fine. Everybody's there. It's just now time for a new sets. And we're going on to, he's the first to go on to the inters, it looks like, is it? Yes. Oh well, we had Elite Carbon go in as well. They're both going in and getting new inters. So it may be the crossover period is happening, because the inters are much faster as it happens than. Everybody's very slow, it looks like. Is it? It feels very slow, doesn't it? It does, but again, like you're saying, like
it is the wet.
On the wet track, nobody's really doing anything.
Yeah, it looks like it. And there's Kaiser Gunner down to 1.7 seconds. Thunder rolls.
Gar's books.
Yeah.
Gar's books.
No.
Yeah.
It just does. It just goes like that. Anyway. That's the shape it makes. Okay, so Kaiser Gunner in 3rd place, making up a ton of time. He's back within 1.6 seconds. Budge dropping to more Mick there. Is Mick making a move all of a sudden? Mick finding his groove. I told you, Mick in the wet. What? Told you, Mick in the wet. Supreme Bio isn't a hero getting the penalties there. But look at this now. Is Budge falling foul to the older tyres on that Haas? He may have just dropped in there to use the slipstream behind Mick. But Mick in the faster car, and he may now be making his move. Oh, and he's off! He's off! Oh! And he takes out Budge! Going into the pits! Holy crap! Is that a new wing for Budge? Holy shit, losing it. There, Mick is after dropping down, and he's only got a bit of a wing. He needs a new wing, but he... And a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Just when we said he was making moves...
Just stop talking.
He literally put it into a wall.
You're cursing everyone.
And Budge needs a new wing as a result of that incident too.
Oh, that's critical for Budge. That is time in the pits he wouldn't have otherwise needed. And Chameleon, oh no, that's his hero. Jeez, it looked like he was struggling there. But Buffa Lucas is a little bit back from Chameleon.
Yeah, that's kind of, I've been watching that one now.
1 second between, 3 second time penalty. Chameleon staying out longer, going 8 laps. But it looks like, it certainly looks like that the way to go now. Oh, and Budge has got wets again. Oh, is that a mistake as well? And Mormick got wets. Oh, them guys they went back out on wets. Now I understand that there's not very much. The wets are like the soft; they don't last very long.
Yeah.
But there's some guys have gone inters. Was that a mistake on the boots going in when they went in?
That's, I don't know. Like, can we follow along with some of the inters and just see what that's like?
Well, we'll see. What you need to do now is, there's Major Jam getting a penalty warning, or sorry, 3 second penalty. Beg your pardon. But now what we need to do is need to see who's setting fastest lap.
Yeah, there's a lot of penalties all of a sudden.
And there's Major Jam setting fastest lap. What is he on? Major Jam is on the wets. So maybe not the crossover that they had imagined. But they're obviously trying to do something different, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because
well, if nothing else, maybe it'll just shake this up a little bit, because so far, kind of a yawn.
Bit of a slow one today, I will admit. Let's see. So Buffa Lucas now back up on the back of Chameleon. Oh, and look at that, he's pushing into the corner. Oh, he's all over him here. Let's look at this 4-way battle, 5-way battle. Nobody behind Buffa Lucas. It's all the way. It's 3 seconds back to Major Jam, and Major Jam does have a penalty. So it's everybody is now from 1st to 5th is in a DRS zone.
Yep.
We don't have DRS though.
No.
It's just all very close at the front. Who will be the first to blink? Oh!
Nearly?
Yeah. Oh, and look at that! There's Kaiser going wide, and Chameleon takes advantage of that.
Damn it.
Oh, that's giving Chameleon a little bit of breathing room, and he's now on a podium. But
well, that needs to change.
I will say Kaiser does make Chameleon very nervous, so this is probably a great position. And Ron Anasaurus has now gone in. Ron Anasaurus is the first to blink, and he's gone in to change his tires. And look at the getaway from Buffa Lucas there. Wow! Look at that. And the Red Bull is much faster in this game, but he has to back out going into turn 2. Or sorry, going down into Maggots and Beckett's. Is this? Yeah, it is. No, that was turn 1 and 2. Sorry, beg your pardon. Losing myself on track here. What an excellent overtake. So now, Kaiser Gunner dropping back a bit. And there is, who's dropping down? We got Rodanosaurus in the pits. Coming out behind is a hero, it looks like. And he went inters.
Interesting.
Rodanosaurus went inters. But Supreme Boyle went wets.
I don't know,
it looks like it certainly looks like right now at this stage. It looks like
it looks like the rain has stopped, but the track is still wet.
Yeah, very much so. And what I'd say is as well, it looks like there's
3 second penalty.
Yeah.
Multiple warnings.
So
exceeding track limits.
Yeah, and we're Welsh Wizard with the DNF earlier on in this race, so he's the only one out
what
so far.
There? Did I miss that?
Yeah, that was probably the VSC issues that we had earlier.
Right, yeah.
But very unclear. It doesn't come up anymore to tell us that we have a VSC or a safety car. We have to figure that out from the track. It looked like a safety car because but everybody slowed down, and we then looks like we had that issue again.
Griffin, where's Griffin?
Griffin is not here today. Griffin is not here today.
Banned or just?
No, just not in.
Gotcha.
Better things to be doing in his life. Yeah. So now,
the real story
Buffa Lucas, as it happens, is out, and it looks like he can go. It looks like these guys. It's all one stop, but these guys are going to have very now, depending on how long or how much they get. These guys are now leading this race, but
Well, see, Chameleon was right on the ass of Bunsey, and I feel like this is when he's going to push really hard and fuck up.
Because he sees Race win in the
yeah, he sees Hole, and he's going to push it like.
Yeah. And you seen what happened between when he ran into the back of Mayo Man doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah. So he's done that to Mayo Man already. So Buffalucas, as it stands, is on a podium now. Here's the thing. Ronanosaurus has gone with the Inters. Oh, that's a very wide. He lost a bit of time there.
Just stop saying their names, because I feel like every time you mention...
No, that wasn't Ronanosaurus. That was Buffalucas.
I know, but you just said something about Buffalucas.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Sector 3 round. Who's round in Sector 3? Nobody. But the Ferrari's not faring very well in this at all. And Budge may...
Elite Carbon DNF.
Oh my. That was what we had. And it looks like we're down to... Are we getting a safety car? I don't see a safety car on track.
This is as good as mine.
We have a Sector 3 off. So that's obviously Elite Carbon. Vern, so... He's in Sector 1, so... It looks like it's just... I don't see a... Oh, there's Buffalucas gets a 3-second time penalty. I have to say, I think most people will have a 3-second time penalty by the end of this. This is a wet track, and there's a lot of warnings going. Like literally everybody on the track now at this stage, bar some of the usuals. Budge won't have any time penalties because that's just Budge's, Budge is good like that. But Angry Chameleon putting it to Bunsey at the front. Now saying that, this is the thing. Ronanosaurus is
He made his stop.
on the internet. He's made his stop.
Yeah.
Are the guys gaining time at the front, or are they losing it by going too long on these wet tires?
I don't know, because I don't see, like, the guys who are on Inters, I don't see them moving up a whole lot.
Right.
So I don't know what benefit, like, if it outweighs the time.
Well, they will go longer, and it may be a little drier by the end of the race. Whether so if you go wet, you're hoping it stays like this, which is soaking. But the Inters do offer you that crossover period where if it gets a little drier, you won't be the one worrying too much. You won't have to stop again.
Yeah. So how many laps can you do on the Inters?
On the Inters, I think you can go to the end here.
Going wide.
Yeah. And you see there, Buffalucas is right there on his back. Let's see. So
Inters, how many laps are we saying?
I reckon they could get to the end on the Inters at this stage.
Okay.
Especially if they're taking it easy, and of course it's the second half of the race, so they have a lighter car.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting, but I think people who are on 4-lap-old wets may conceivably have to stop again.
Yeah.
And is a 2-stop the fastest way around here today? It may be a 2-stop for both. It may be a 2-stop for both, at which point Ronanosaurus...
Hold on. There's something happening here.
Yeah, Chameleon looking down the inside of Bunsey and it not materialising there. Buffalucas losing a bit of time there, must have had a bit of a wobble. Major Jam holding on to the back of him. But Chameleon and Bunsey still to stop yet. Let's see the stops. I don't think... Tyre penalties, stops. There we go. So, Elite Carbon did have 2 stops. Yes. Supreme Bio with 2 stops. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good few that still have to do.
Now, at this stage, it's shown that the wets can go 14 laps. So, there's only 12 laps left in the race. The truth is, though, and the speed of that for Mercedes down compared to the Aston... the Mercedes having a look again. The Mercedes of Angry Chameleon just having a look again.
Not getting there on the straight.
No, absolutely not. Oh. So Ronanosaurus seems to be having an awful lot of trouble trying to get by as a hero. So let's have a look at what's going on here. Oh well, sorry, he's a good bit back. He's not made any time up on those new tyres whatsoever.
No.
So that's not suiting him at all, really, is it?
Doesn't seem to be, no.
He's not making up any time on those new tyres. He realistically should be making a lot of time up. We have Rory Drain and Buffalucas into the pits.
Okay.
So they're going, maybe for the undercut. But these guys are staying out. Neither one wants to make the first. Neither one wants to be first in.
Yeah.
Where does Buffalucas and Rory Drain come out? That's the interesting part. Now, Rolanosaurus has taken over them.
5-second penalty for Why Not See.
Oh,
Speeding in the pit
Tony,
lane.
what's going on? Why not? So, Rory Drain. Where is Yeah, Buffalucas. Buffalucas got out ahead of Rolanosaurus. So the wets are the car. Look, it looks like the wets are the car to be on.
All ready to go.
Yeah, because look at that. Not only has Buffalucas jumped up all them spaces, he's now in 7th after making a stop. Everybody ahead of him has yet to stop. Right?
Yeah.
So he's made up all those spaces, and the leader in this race, who was Rolanosaurus, is still 2.9 seconds behind.
Supreme Boyo just got fastest lap. He's on inters.
Yeah, but Supreme Bio is one of those all or nothing kind of guys. That's the problem for him.
Okay.
He is one of those guys who will set fast lap,
Yeah.
but he'll also bring you in at 16th position. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so it's an all or nothing for him, really.
Okay.
Budge looking like he made the right decision on those wets to go, but he may have stopped too early. And you saw him and the incident between him and Mormick. That'll definitely be reviewed. He will have something to say about that.
Yeah.
But Mormick, unfortunately, behind him, it won't game when he blazes. Let's see. Is a hero up to 6th position but yet to stop, and he's only 5 seconds ahead of somebody who already has. Bunsey has lost the lead of this race to Chameleon. So as it happens now, if they both go in, Chameleon will likely come out ahead of Bunsey.
It's quite the gap there between Big Knuckles and Kaiser.
It is. They were a long way back. Kaiser was in the top 5 that were pulling away, you know.
Yeah.
Now, this is the thing. The man to gain here is Buffalucas. Because if Buffalucas has done the undercut well enough, he hasn't gotten involved in any kind of mid team or mid table battles here. These guys, if they are out with 15 lap old tyres and they are losing time right now, he was only about half a second back on them.
Yeah.
He theoretically now should be pulling away, because look at Rolanosaurus, he was only 2.5 seconds behind, he's now 1.6 seconds behind. So the Inter's clearly not the tyre to be on.
Yeah.
Right, as it happens right now. Well, as it happens, Chameleon making up the position, at least in principle, over Bunsey. But it's all very clean, and now Chameleon goes again, but Bunsey goes in. So here it is. We stay with Buffalucas, and we'll watch on track where he is as it relates to Bunsey.
Gosh.
As Buffalucas comes around through the final sector, where is Bunsey? Because he's only getting his tyres now, right? This is a long kind of. There is Buffalucas. He's coming around onto the final straight, and Bunsey is about to come out, and it looks like it's paid. Oh, he isn't. Buffalucas gets ahead of Bunsey.
Nice.
Wow! As a matter of fact, Major Jam has gone in again, and he's back out in 8th, or he's gone in and he's back out in 8th position. But look at that, 2.6 second advantage. That's a flip. Now, as it happens as well, it does mean Buffalucas does have a 3-second time penalty here.
Yeah.
So what we have here developing is a very interesting thing. Oh, and he went inters. Bunsey went inters. Oh, has the turnover happened now? Because here's the thing. Rolanosaurus has been losing a ton of time to Buffalucas on track, right? Oh my. Maybe it is getting drier.
and maybe just Ronana's horse went too early, and that was a bit wide there by
Right.
Buffalucas. Chameleon has to be going in this time. He surely is. And where's he going to come out now? It looks like Buffalucas is definitely in that zone. I would have laughed. I'm not going to lie. I would have laughed if he'd sped in the pit lane and got a 5-second penalty. I just would.
Yeah.
So let's see. Buffalucas in 5th position as it happens. And has the Bunsey done the undercut? And let's see. Inters for Chameleon. So it must be crossover.
drying.
It must be
Yeah.
drying up enough now. So Buffalucas could find themselves. There's no 3-second penalty for why not see. Buffalucas could find himself theoretically. There it is there, and Buffalucas has got ahead of Chameleon too. And a long way ahead of him. And has the undercut worked for Bunsey? No! Bunsey
Oh.
is out behind Chameleon.
Yep.
But look at Chameleon going wide, and he's on this is going to be an interesting battle. But Buffalucas is now leading this race. He's net P1 essentially. And if it isn't time for Inters, Budge is going in, so it must be time for Inters. I think if everybody's coming out on Inters now,
Yeah.
definitely is coming out on Inters time. I think Supreme Bio was the first, maybe Supreme Bio at this stage was the man that kind of set that fast lap on the Inters. Maybe he's indicated that it is time for the switch over.
Has Iron Man gone in yet?
Iron Man has gone back in, yeah, he has gone in for Inters,
Yeah,
looks like.
'cause he's on the wets about 13, 14 laps.
Yeah. Budge back out on the Inters, brand new Inters, but down in 14th position. Ton of people have
Hard to
penalties
make
ahead of him. Actually, for Budge now, a safety car at this stage for Budge would be massive, because he'd get at least 5-6 positions back just purely for that. Now Chameleon leads this race, and Kaiser Gunn has gone in. And Chameleon's going to be well ahead. There's the Mercedes of Is a Hero ahead. Kaiser Gunn is going Inters. So it is Intersession. Intertime. And he's going to drop down because there's Chameleon. Kaiser Gunner is coming out, but he's going to be way back down again. He's going to have to move up. There he is, all the way back down to 10th, is it? Yeah, back behind Rory Drain. I don't think Kaiser, why not see is 51 seconds back, so he'll be out in front of them. So now, Chameleon leading this race as it happens, and burning up all of that. No, that was this. Look at this. Is a Hero is burning. Oh, what the hell? Major Jam is having a ding dong battle with Buffalucas, and he got it. And Major Jam is the biggest. Oh, and Chameleon is gotten by Is a Hero on track, and that's huge because Major Jam is going to be the biggest threat now to Chameleon, I feel. The only problem is he also. Oh, there's Is a Hero. He's gone a bit wide, and look at on the inside. Oh, and he backs out of that. Interesting battle. Oh, but he gets him back on the switchback on the other side. So now Major Jam hunting down. He is much faster than Buffalucas, and Supreme Bio is around. Where is he? Did we lose him here? It looks like we lost him somewhere there.
DNF.
We look like, and Buffalucas is losing positions like crazy to guys. So now everybody who's on the wets is losing massive time to those guys. Ronanosaurus is after overtaking him. Both Big Knocko's now in for his, and it looks like Chameleon has the lead of this race, and he's 1.2 seconds ahead, and both guys that follow him right now have penalties, and Is a Hero still has to stop. So Bunsey not going to likely, he might get second, but not first. But look at this. Is a Hero is struggling out there, but he's left it too late on those. He's really hoping at this stage. He's hoping at this stage for a safety car, so that he can get a free stop pretty much. But Chameleon looking to pull ahead of Major Jam, but this is the battle on track now. That's a very nice livery for the McLaren.
Let's McLaren.
No, Major Jam McLaren.
Mm.
Now let's see. It's a 1 second gap, and Chameleon and Major Jam have the same tyres essentially, but there is that penalty there, and there is Bunsey up to third. We're going to have all those Blue Gunners on 12 lap old Inters and still making up some time, but he has a penalty also.
The top three there are
Mormick setting fastest lap in the semi dry.
the top three are on relatively young tires.
Yeah, they're safe.
So
Blue Gunner might get, although to be fair, the two Alpha Tauris battling it out there, and definitely a look down the inside by Rhodanosaurus.
oh,
Bar. Right. Oh, Major Jam fastest lap now. He is closing down on Chameleon, and his Chameleon burning. He isn't. Look at that. Look at the ERS at 86%. But the thing here is a hero getting another penalty. The thing here is that not only does he have to make up all that time, which he is trying to with using ERS, he's 41% to Chameleon's 95%. So Chameleon going to have tons and tons of ERS to battle back with.
yeah, and I mean, Major Jam has penalties.
Yeah.
So he kind of
Let's look at
needs to watch out for Bunsey, who's kind of the nearest
three.
threat without any.
Yeah, and Bunsey is now 6.9 seconds back from Major Jam, so he's over 8 seconds back. This is Chameleon's race to lose, quite frankly. Mormick with a 3 second time penalty, that's 6 seconds for him. Budge will make up over Verny Vern and Why Not See It, looks like, because of the penalties ahead of him. So he's looking like an 11th based on that. But look at all the penalties that are out there at the moment.
Yeah.
Lots of them. Let's see. So here it is now. Major Jam is the only one who could kind of make a bit of eruptions here. Because if he gets ahead of Chameleon, can he pull away? Chameleon does have the fastest car here. Like between the two, but McLaren setting the fastest lap now again.
Everything else being equal, like the tires are relatively the same age.
Yeah.
It's hard to know. It's kind of like if Chameleon just keeps his shit together, it should be fairly easy for him to just walk away with it.
Yeah, I agree. And see, this is. Oh yeah, the Buffa Lucasen is a hero. Still out on 21 lap old wets.
Crazy.
So yeah, he is going to have to stop again, or he is going to have to stop because he will be disqualified. Or can he go to the end on wets? You don't have to change compounds.
Yeah.
You don't in the wet.
Yeah.
You don't have to change compounds. He can go to the end on these.
Yeah.
But Kaiser Gunner getting is a hero there. So it's just not happening for Major Jam right now. He's just not getting inside that 0.7 seconds. You know, Chameleon in command here. He is using a little bit of ERS to maintain that little bit of an advantage. But look at this now. That is lightning quick in a straight line from Major Jam. But at this stage, all Chameleon has to do is not make a mistake. And this will be Chameleon's first win in a long, long time.
I mean, good for him, but also you kind of hate to see such a moany cunt have a good race like that. You know?
That's some serious language.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. It's perfectly fine. We are not PG here at all, but I think it indicates closer to the feeling.
Well, you know.
So a little bit dropped there by Major Jam. Major Jam is having the sections where Chameleon is just doing better. And there's the fast lap set by Big Knockos. Big Knockos is in the points. And he's looking like he might get more points as a result of penalties. Is a Hero and Buffalucas might drop back yet.
Mormick, another time penalty.
Yeah, Mormick is having a look at the two Ferraris in 14th and 15th. Fastest cars on track on one of the fast circuits, and they just can't make it happen. Blue Gunner falling back. Rory Drain is up now. And look at Bunsey, 8.4 seconds back from Major Jam. These two guys at the front are just pulling away. It doesn't matter for Major Jam now. Major Jam is going to finish top two, depending, you know. I don't think he's going to get ahead of Chameleon and pull ahead far enough.
No, and he should be okay.
And he's
penalties.
Exactly.
He only has the 3, does he?
He only has 3 seconds, so
yeah,
it means.
So once he maintains that distance between him,
yeah, he's very safe there. So it's Chameleon and Major Jam, but it's just then look at the distance between everybody else.
Yeah,
it's just we're going to leave the penalties because at this stage it doesn't really matter about the tyres anymore. The penalties are more appropriate now at this stage.
Yeah. Chameleon setting past the slap as well.
Yeah, so Chameleon is starting to he's starting to push the button.
He's got 2 laps to go, so he might as well.
Yeah, well he's just
but again, just keep your shit together.
Yeah, he's got 60%, so he did burn a little bit on that time round, and he did pull out outside that 1.1 second. It doesn't matter. The 1 second doesn't matter in the rain.
Yeah.
Because we don't have DRS. But what it does is it means now that Chameleon has just kind of pushed ahead and created that little bit more of a safety gap with only 2 laps remaining after this one. So he kind of absorbed it, let Major Jam come close, use up his ERS. And there's Angry Chameleon using up the ERS now. Look at that there, see 48%. So he saved that for the last couple of laps just to, because he knew he was safe enough anyways.
Yeah.
But he just knows now that he doesn't even have to go too far ahead, which he is, because he's now another 2 tenths. But just looking at it, is this a case of Chameleon going faster or Major Jam losing out? Because Bunsey has gained 0.6 of a second on Major Jam, so Major Jam might have had a wobble. And there's Major Jam coming back at him now again. So maybe that was a bit of a wobble as opposed to a Chameleon onslaught. But either way, I think Chameleon's fairly safe at this stage because now he has that gap there. He only needs to maintain that. He doesn't even need to do a whole lot to do it.
Wouldn't you just love to see like a tire blowout or something though?
Yeah, it's unlikely because these guys, as you said, are on the newest tyres on track.
I know,
so.
But still.
But look at that there is a Hero all the way back to 14. Budge up to 12th. Budge going to jump 2 places. Budge now jumping up to... Looks like it'll be jumping all the way up to 10th.
So he's put himself in the points.
Yeah, he's going to get a point. Just like last week. Point. But there's Bunsey again. Look, see, Bunsey's after dropping back to 9 seconds once Major Jam seems to get his stuff together. So it does clearly a Major Jam wobble rather than a Chameleon pull away. Because Major Jam is now on the onslaught. As he comes into these final 2 laps, he knows it's all or nothing now at the stage. But he's now 9.2 seconds ahead of Bunsey.
So it's not looking likely for a 4-peat for Budge.
No, it isn't, is it? But then, as we said, depending on the standings and all the results that go in today, we will find out who is in what. We will find out who's in what car because we will have a redraw of who should be in what car.
True.
So I don't think Budge is going to change because Budge, unfortunately, as a result of that penalty last week, got 2nd place on the grid as a result of Elite Carbon's penalty.
Yeah.
Budge was promoted 2nd, and he has more than exceeded his value in that Haas for the first 8 races of the season. So Major Jam setting fast lap 139.5. That is an extra point for him. But this is Chameleon's race as he leads all the way round the final lap. And look at that, Bunsey is now nearly 10 seconds back on Major Jam. Bunsey's second half of the race did not work out whatsoever. Why not see having an absolute mare? Most penalties on track. Is a Hero as DNF.
Did you get an award for that?
No, but you certainly might get a bit of slagging. But Buffalucas
he stuck out those wet tires,
Yeah.
and it looks like he's going to get himself some points in what is only his third race, I believe, for wheel to wheel.
Happy
So
days.
making an impact straight away, and he did.
Why not see
Why not?
nothing? 3-second time penalty.
He's up to 17 seconds. If he gets 25, I think, or 26, he gets disqualified. So still time yet. So let's go up and join Chameleon on his first race win in a long time.
First
but-
this season?
First this season, yes. He is the
First
fifth.
since last season?
I don't think Chameleon won last season. He didn't. So I
Okay.
think it's first one since season 2, maybe. So Chameleon really working it well, getting out ahead, making it in, and he is likely now not to be in that Mercedes. And there he is, crossing the line. Angry Chameleon sets fastest lap on the final lap. And there's Major Jam overtaken there. Major Jam finished in second as a result of all that. Rory Drain coming across in fourth, Ron Anasaurus in fifth, Blue Gunner coming around in the Alpha Tauri in sixth. Kaiser jumping him because of penalties. Big Knockos, man, is after getting eighth. Buffalucas in ninth, and there is Budge following up from Buffalucas. Looks like Buffalucas is going to lose a place to Budge as well. Late push by Budge. Look at this race by Budge. Where was he on? Oh, and that's a bit of a corner cut there. That's a bit of a corner cut. Budge getting that position regardless. He would have done it on penalties. 5 seconds. No. That's the penalties that they got during the race that they did not serve.
Okay.
That they did not get rid of. They are the 5 second ones they did not get rid of. Iron Man and Mormick in 13 and 14, finishing on track, but not actually doing too well in the end. Both
Wait,
Ferraris.
when did we lose I'm a Hero?
Is a hero.
Is a Hero.
Retired in the pits near the end.
Oh.
He had to go in anyway, and fortunately, that's the end of the race.
Because
We
he
don't-
just got kicked out.
Because we just got kicked out. We don't need to worry about that. We will try and get back in. But that is the end of the race. We will try and get back in.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that one. Like,
I
there
didn't enjoy
wasn't-
that race, if I'm being
No,
honest. And it's
no.
not to do with the fact that Chameleon won.
A little bit to do with it.
Well, I don't know, because all I'll say is, like, his fundamental misunderstanding of what is physics and sound engineering is being two different topics of study. You know, I
Yeah.
don't think that. I just what I would say is that it just didn't have the excitement of
Yeah.
last week's race.
Like,
last week's race was
It was enjoyable.
extraordinary.
Yeah,
Extraordinary.
It was
Yeah,
a fun watch. This one was just kind of. I don't know if it's because I'm really tired.
it could be.
or-
Yeah, we are just back, obviously, in the Meeps cave for the first time in a week. We were away. But yeah, I think this is the problem with races. The incidents. We didn't have a safety car. We had a VSC that seemed to cause a few problems for the likes of Kaiser and all that, who kind of fell off a bit.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing that was really controversial in a sense. You know what I mean? Everything else didn't really work out at all.
And like, let's be fair, it's not entertaining when it's not crashy and controversial.
Well, there is that. There is that. But I think people get very cautious in the wet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a result, then you're kind of looking at the situation where you leave session. Yes, we're on lead session because we don't need to stop drawing on me, please. Thank you very much. You saw the standings there. It is a Chameleon win, the first,
Right,
I believe, in 2 seasons.
Grudging congratulations to Chameleon.
He seemed to do everything right. He definitely seemed to do everything right. It worked out very well for him. I think there were a few mistakes made by others. And
So really, he didn't win as much as it was handed to him. Can we say that?
no, I can't, because I'll tell you, I think it was always going to be a Chameleon win once he was in those top 2-3. with the car that he had, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Like he was up against an Aston Martin
Mm-hmm.
and an Alpine, and the Mercedes is just lights ahead of them.
Yeah.
The guys he should have been racing should have been the likes of Verne, Kaiser, Mormick, and Ironman in those faster Red Bulls and Ferraris.
Yeah.
Or is a hero who went 25 laps of on the 24 laps on the wets,
And got the most
and then
penalties.
retired in the pits. He did, not scoring points once again. But yeah, it was hard to follow. I think there was no real battles. We watched. I think we watched the. I think we watched the most battles. Like I think the biggest battle we had was Chameleon and Buffalucas and Bunsey and that. Like I mean,
Yeah.
everything else was kind of. And we did catch a bit of excitement where Mormick went into the pit sideways, taking out Budge. You know?
Yeah.
That'll probably be reviewed. It's unlikely to affect anything because Mormick did finish in the bottom two, all finishers. We did have 4 non-finishers in the wet. But Silverstone, a fast track, but only particularly good in the dry, I would say.
Yeah. There wasn't
There was an
any of
incredible
that
race
showing.
here. Yeah, an incredible race here last season where we had, for the vast majority of the race, we had top 10 or 11 all in DRS zones of each other for the entirety of the race, and then Chameleon crashed out and went from second to
DRS train.
last. The DRS train, exactly. So that's really it, to be honest. Like I mean, nothing extraordinary to report
No.
on.
Not a whole lot of discussion.
Not a lot to
Points.
discuss, other than this here, which is how things ended last week. Bunsey will extend. So now let's see where Chameleon is on 46 points. He got fastest lap to his credit as well on the last lap.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets 26 points. So he's up to 72. So right now it looks like he jumps Budge all the way up to third. Now that may play a massive part. Now that's obviously the Major Jam. He probably won't jump Major Jam. Oh no, Major Jam got 18, so he's up to 70, so he jumps him. Blue Gunner only got, I think, was he 5th? So he got about 10 points. So yeah, Chameleon goes from 6th to 3rd, jumping 3 people. Budge getting 2 points in 9th. So he's 65. So Budge drops down behind Blue Gunner, Major Jam and Chameleon. So Budge drops from 3rd to 6th. Chameleon up from 6th to 3rd. So fortunes reversed there for them.
I suppose do we need to talk more about the car shuffle?
The car shuffle, yeah. Like I mean, depending on the formula, that win and fastest lap and the points that he's gotten means that Chameleon now has 72 points. We said he had.
So he's not going to be in that Mercedes.
He could very well be, because it really also depends on.
I have no idea how this fucking works then.
I know.
Because, like,
Well, there is a controversial thing going around.
okay.
This was done on results from the season 3.
Okay. So
Now.
last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chameleon out of something like 112 points.
Yes.
Is a Hero had 0 points.
Yes.
They both got a Mercedes according to this formula.
What the fuck is the formula?
I'm playing devil's advocate because this was Budge's argument earlier. Is a Hero's a very fast driver, but apparently both Chameleon and Is a Hero got the same car as a result of this formula. Now,
Was it not? Is it okay?
it's just a point I'm bringing up because it was brought up in the Wheel to Wheel forum. If you want to be part of the Wheel to Wheel forum, scan the QR code down the bottom corner there.
Can I scan it and just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, So this is not scanning.
Oh, I know what's happening there. We will move to this one. Hold on. We will move to the official one. So you'll be able to do that because what's happened is, see the little
Dinosaur? Or little meep?
the little meep is after being in that, so it can't be in the bottom corner. That's as a result of the actual thing. So when that changes, we go to that. But
Okay, so back to the car shuffle. I
Yeah.
thought it was a case of like the people, like the best performing drivers
Yeah.
would get the worst
Yeah.
cars.
yeah, but it does take into consideration. See, there you go. So you should be able to scan it now. There you go.
Did I even touch that or not?
No, you knocked it off.
God damn it.
There you go. There you go. So,
Can I reject all these cookies?
down the bottom, the wheel to wheels Discord there. So, yeah. So basically, you see, Chameleon is in a certain car.
Wait, what?
There's a Discord.
Yeah, I'll do that later.
Do that later. Yeah. So basically, at the start of the season, for the start of the season, Chameleon would have been expected to score X amount of points in the Mercedes,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Because he is.
Can you just write out the formula for me?
Because we can't give out the formulas.
That's shady as fuck.
Chameleon takes care of it all, apparently.
Well, now we know why. He ended up in a Mercedes at the
So
same time as the guy who scored 0 points.
Are you telling me? Right? Are you telling? Oops, that's the wrong one. Are you telling me that you're on the budge train as to this is shady as fuck?
I think when it comes to conspiracies and whatnot, there's not a whole lot that Budge and I would agree on.
Yeah.
But that's some bullshit.
Right.
Because so we have a super secret formula that Chameleon looks after.
He did share with the drivers, but he hasn't. Yeah, and he's gone through what it is and how it's done, and it is done based on the strengths in the finishing last year.
Have you seen?
I have seen the formula, but I don't. See, this is it, Sarah Alexandra.
What?
Where's the transparency?
Yes.
I get it. I get it. Like, this is Budge's argument, and he's good at winding Chameleon up. I will say that, but what he said was that how did two people who finished so far apart end up in the same car? And it's partly to do with the fact that Is a Hero's ability wasn't reflected in the way he finished last year. First of all, Is a Hero didn't compete in all the season.
And does it also have anything to do with the fact that the Chameleon is fucking running the show and everything seems to kind of go in his favor?
If you're to believe Budge, yes.
Not even just believing Budge or whatever, but just from the outside looking in. There's one person who has this magic formula that he shared with some people.
And he keeps telling people that they don't understand.
Well, then fucking explain it.
And when he does explain it,
sit down in a group and we'll do the maths together.
Yeah.
Like, as a scientist and a quality control analyst who knows something about transparency, I feel like I could give this a decent shot in trying to understand it.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you. I just think that he's browned off trying to explain to people at this stage, because he's like, I would say, as a former teacher, right, I would say that when people, instead of blaming people for not understanding what it is you're trying to tell them, maybe it's the fault of the teacher.
I was just going to say that as someone who was also a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, if you go over shit and people aren't getting it, that's your teaching.
Yeah.
And if it's not just one student either.
Yeah, this goes back to the whole thing. Like, sometimes it's not everybody else. Sometimes it's you.
Right. Exactly, Sarah. It does. Because there are some people who are in, because there are some people who weren't here in season 3. They were put into cars based on ability and times and different things. So there are some anomalies here. The first 8 races.
How do I get my comments back?
What?
How do I get my comments back? I can't read that.
There you go. So, basically, there are some people that had to be plugged into the system and given results and stuff like that. That's how is a hero end up in such a strong car anyway, being that he's actually much faster than would be normally anticipated.
These are not the comments.
That said, yeah, Sarah's on Facebook.
So this one?
What? No, you won't get the Facebook comments on YouTube.
Well, you have 2.
Yeah, because I have the multi-stream comments, not just YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna go on Facebook and look at the comments then.
So, basically, you have a number of people who weren't involved, and then you also have a number of people who were involved but didn't have enough races, and then you have enough other things. Now, that said, the reason that Budge is not in a Williams, for example, because he won the season, was because 2 or 3 faster drivers came into the... 2 or 3 much faster drivers came in and got allocated the 2, like, so Bunsey is much faster than Budge, and so is the people who are in the Williams. Yeah, now it hasn't materialised that they're much faster than Budge when he's in a Haas, but those guys haven't. So winning in a Ferrari is expected because it's the fastest car, right?
Yes.
So if you win in a Ferrari, it's less punishing than if you win in a Williams, because you're not expected to get any points in a Williams, right? So
if you win in a Williams, it means you're like a
you're
super
going to be
duper driver.
And the second slowest car is the Aston Martin, and the current leader of the championship is Bunsey, who is driving an Aston Martin. So despite the fact that he's in the second slowest car on track, he is the leader in this championship. Right?
So he's not going to be.
So he's going to be moved from the Aston now, because he's way outperforming the Aston.
Yeah.
He's going to be moved down to a Williams. It looks like.
Okay.
It looks like. And Mayo Man, who was in a I think it was an Alpine. I think he was in an Alpine. It is comparing people at the same standards, but the problem is that it is difficult, and realistically we were going to get a much better idea of, after the first 8 races, where people lay, because everybody involved.
Okay, but so would you not just take the results from the first 8 races and do like the formula with that, and not
that's what they're going to do. But what they're going to do is they're going to apply the cars that they were in. So now Budge has never won. See, Budge coming second in a Haas, which is the 3rd worst car, is devastating to his points, because he wouldn't be expected to have many points. Budge is far exceeding the points of a Haas, because realistically it should be Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, blah 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 blah, if all the drivers were of the same standard.
Yeah. So
realistically Budge should be coming in the bottom 6 every week. Or specifically 15th or 16th. Yeah?
So
if everything else was even. The fact that he has come in 2nd and 3rd, he's had 2 podiums, and he's finished with a point stay in 8th, means he's outperforming the car.
So tell me then, again, where is Chameleon in these standings?
Chameleon is 3rd in the standings.
So he's in a fast car.
Yeah.
And he's 3rd.
It's likely he will move down. But he may not, because it also depends on, if he is plus 10 points on what he should be at this point in the season, based on the car and the ability.
Yeah.
But somebody is plus 15 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're outperforming better. They're outperforming better than he is.
I think you should just do like a 1-to-1 swap out. Like whoever's leading goes into the car of the person who's last.
Well, in that case, Budge would have ended up in the Williams and would have been way further back. The fact that Budge is still competitive, despite the fact that he is the champion 3 times in a row.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of life, isn't it?
Like Bunsey is outperforming him in a slower car.
Yeah.
So it was right to put Bunsey ahead of him in a slower car. Otherwise, Budge would have been in the. Realistically, it would have been Budge, Mailman, Major Jam in the 3 slowest cars because we didn't have the guys who were in the 4 slowest cars. They've just come in from outside. So you do essentially if you don't outperform your car, or you don't outperform your car more than somebody else has outperformed their car. Like essentially, yes, it looks like there are 6 drivers worse than Chameleon now, right?
Basically, what this boils down to is it's the last day of my holidays before I have to go back to work, and I just don't care.
That's a fair point. But it is a good system. It is a good system because it did actually get us very competitive racing. It did mean that people who are getting wins. It did mean that people who are getting wins and people who are who weren't competitive before had won. Mormick had a race win this season. Mormick has never had a race win ever.
I just want to see the algorithm.
And we will try and get it for you, but like I mean, it is. Exactly, it will work better out for next season because we will have 24 races to go by. We already have 8 races now, with which there's going to be a reshuffle based on what performances have happened in the first 8 races. There will then be a reshuffle again after 16 races, and for the final, so we will have 3 phases in this tournament, and basically the people who are outperforming when it comes to the race 17 could conceivably be in a different car again. So if Chameleon were to, by some chance or some miracle, stay in the Mercedes this time, the likelihood is he won't be in it then for the final 8 races. Because if he's as competitive now or up to then, he will drop back. Just like handicaps in golf, exactly. Like that's exactly it. Like if you're outperforming your handicap, which is essentially a car, you lose some of it. Yeah, if you're hitting about where you should be, you don't move a whole lot. If you are doing particularly worse, you get a better handicap or a bigger handicap. So that's your car is your handicap essentially.
Your handicap. All right. So now we're all just on Facebook, so we might as well.
Yeah. But anyway, that is it. Exactly like handicaps in golf. It is a complex formula applied by Chameleon and delivered by Chameleon and paid for by Chameleon.
With no transparency to the rest of the team.
The guys know the formula. It's in there somewhere. I'm just
with no transparency to me, which is more important than the team.
Well, what you need to do is you need to get on there and you need to, as a scientist, evaluate that formula.
Well, I will.
Live on air. You can't show the formula because we don't want the release now. But what you can do is you can report on if the formula is fair and
true. Or if it's some bullshit. And right now,
it's only going to be bullshit right now because right now you haven't seen it.
Based on my deductive reasoning skills, it's some bullshit.
It is. Yeah. So, look, I think we've gone for long enough. I think we've wound up enough people for today. We are going to call it a night. Thank you very much for joining me once again.
Thanks for having me.
Brilliant to have you as always. And we will...
Focus.
Sorry.
Focus.
Those people commenting, I'm not even going to enjoy. Anyway, so we will call it a night. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. If you haven't done so, or if you're watching this back after the fact, please give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching it for. We very much appreciate you joining us. This is week 8 in the bag, and it sees
the fifth winner in 8 races. And this shows you the formula is kind of working because everybody's competitive. Right? We've had 5 winners in 8 races. Chameleon getting his first race in a long time.
Focus.
Stop.
At the task. On the task at hand.
Golf. It's working like a real goal society.
Golf
True best
society.
golf. She's
What she meant.
correct. Yeah, true best players don't win. Exactly. That's pretty much it, Sarah. Yeah. So anyway, Chameleon win week 8. That is the British Grand Prix for season 4 in wheel to wheel, done and dusted. We are going to call it a night. It has been a long week.